What's up, everybody? Hopefully, y'all can see me. We just gonna go live on our regular stuff because, yeah, OBS is some BS. That's what it is. OBS is some BS. I almost said the real word. I'm not trying to cuss right now until we really get started with the show. But go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. And yes, we are live, baby. We live. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2, and we are live, baby. We are live. I told you I was coming back. The other stream was blurry as hell. I don't know what was going on, but I'm happy to be here with y'all right now. I was trying to do that other thing, going live on vertical and horizontal. I'm done with that. I'm no longer doing that vertical and horizontal thing. Screw it. You know, usually when YouTube come out with something new, I try it, see how I like it. I don't like it. It sucks. I want to go back to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to, and that's what we sticking with. But let me go ahead and say what's up to the people, and I'll stop complaining. What's up, Destiny? Nice to see you again. What's up, Joy? What's up, Morky? How you doing, Morky Mom? What's up, D? What's up, Son? Yes, and tell these people to hit the like button too as well. What's up, Ebony? Ebony was the first one here, as well was Aretha. What's up, Locked by Nick? How you doing? Hello. Nice to see everybody. So I talked about this a little bit, but I didn't really go into detail and give you like my full thoughts of these. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I've been talking about it, but these hecklers, I don't even want to say protesters, they're hecklers. And what they're protesting is Kamala Harris being responsible for what's going on in Gaza. What's crazy to me is that how do you hold someone accountable that didn't have authority over foreign affairs? You know, because if anything, if they're going to protest anybody, they should be protesting Joe Biden. He was the president. Go right outside that hospital where he getting radiation and go bother him. I'm just saying. I don't know what more I could say. But anyway, so doing a little research, it's been found out that the people behind all these disruptors during Kamala Harris's book tour is from this group called Cold Pink. Now, Cold Pink is it's Transnational Feminists for Peace. So it's ran by 3 white women and backed by this Russian guy, which doesn't surprise considering that, you know, Russia promotes a lot of propaganda. But it literally doesn't make sense that you guys are protesting a woman who is not in any position of power. And here's the thing, even if you want to hold her quote unquote accountable because she worked in the administration, it still is not her fault. I don't know what more you wanted her to do because she was the vice president, not the president, the vice president. But here we go. I want to go ahead and show you guys this video.
Your legacy will always be genocide.
Your legacy is genocide.
War criminal.
You know what? I am not president of the United States. You want to go to the White House and talk to him? They want to do that.
I just disrupted Kamala Harris at her book tour. People are in there celebrating her being a war criminal, and it's absolutely abhorrent. She went right wing on all of her policies. She needs to be held to account for her crimes in Palestine, her crimes here, her crimes are across the world. It's disgusting. And
I started laughing because she had to take a deep breath. She was like, "I'm here because Kamala Harris is a war criminal." Why was she out of breath? Hold on, let me play that one more time for y'all. Hold on, let's play that one more time.
Your legacy will always be genocide.
Your legacy is genocide!
War criminal.
You know what? I am not president of the United States. You want to go to the White House and talk to him? Go on and do that.
I just disrupted Kamala Harris at her book tour. People are in there celebrating her being a war criminal, and it's absolutely abhorrent. She went right wing on all of her policies. She needs to be held to account for her crimes.
You about to get blocked, ho. Get your ass up out of here, ho.
It's disgusting, and she must be held to account.
Your legacy will always be genocide.
Your legacy is genocide!
Yeah, these people are so happy and like, oh, we got her this time. Oh, okay. All right. It still doesn't change anything. And you know, the funny part is like also too, isn't there like a peace agreement? You know, it's supposed the first phase of the ceasefire, mind you, this is the third time that there's been a ceasefire deal. We'll see if it goes through. But wasn't there a ceasefire, you know, deal currently going on? Like, so what are you still protesting? Oh, we're trying to hold her accountable for her crimes, you know, her war crimes. There's a Secretary of State that actually deals with foreign affairs. And then there's the actual president. If anything, we're all responsible for the genocide. You know how? You know how we're all responsible? Because we pay taxes. Our tax dollars go over there to Israel. So we all paid for that genocide. Unless you're saying you don't pay taxes or the IRS is coming to get you. You know, like, we all paid for it, technically, if you want to be honest. So again, right, Ebony, he talking to them folks right now. What more do you want him to do? Kim went to hire you and is a AKA. She rolls her neck at the end of the day. Look at the sisters acting a fool. Like, what more do you want her to do? Like, you know, like, there is a man currently in office. And here's the thing. At his events, we don't see them interrupting him or disrupting him. If anything, it's a peaceful protest, which most protests are peaceful, right? But it's a peaceful protest outside. It's not within, or you don't hear people yelling and screaming. Because don't forget, they even went to an event that Barack Obama was at. And hell, if we go with, okay, we're harassing former presidents, then you have to do all of them, because the war between Israel and Gaza, that has been going on since 1948. That's not a new thing. When the UK gave those Zionists Israel as a part of the deal for the people displaced from the Holocaust, when they worked out that deal, that's who gave them that strip of land. They just had like a small strip. And then you see from 1948 until now, Palestine got smaller to where Israel got bigger. And of course, that's all the years they've been in war with each other. So if you're going to take, okay, they're responsible because they were in control, or they were at the White House at the time, then you have to blame all the presidents. or at least all of them until 1948 and beyond. Even if they did, go ahead and stalk and harass their grandchildren, because they that sick, they would do that. Go ahead and, go ahead and stalk their relatives. It's since that's what y'all like to do. But at this point, it seems very targeted. It is very targeted at this point. That lady is selling a book. And then I hear the argument like, oh, well, we're doing this just in case she tries to run for office again. Okay. What does that do for the people over there? And mind you, you have to pay at least like $300 to, for the event, right? But not even just $300. They could, some of them were sitting in the balcony. The balcony wasn't $300, but some of them were sitting like in the floor. If you sit in the floor in the middle, like the girl who was out of breath that did that was out of breath talking shit, that ticket right there was between 600 and 11,000, not 11,000, 611, between 600 to $1,100 for like those seats in the middle. Like those seats were pretty high up in pricing, not high up, but in pricing, I mean. Israel is a white supremacist colonial project. It wasn't England's land to give to the Zionists in the first place. Exactly. And and I think also too, and son, thank you for pointing that out. Like I was saying, a lot of people don't know the history on how it even got there. The fall of the Ottoman Empire and then all that stuff happened. Like there's a whole big history. And like it wasn't something I knew until all the wars started breaking out and everything like that. And listen, I'm still pro Gaza, pro Palestinian people. I think everybody can say like, damn, what's going on over there is effed up. Even if you don't really know or understand the history, like I don't understand everything, I'll be like, damn, that's effed up. We see them being denied humanitarian aid. We see them starving and, children dying. And, it was at one point on X, you could not even go on there without seeing those videos circulating of people, dying and so like it was horrible, right? But what these people want was to hold Kamala accountable and say, don't vote for her, don't do this, don't do that. We need to burn down the system and all this other stuff. Okay, how are we going to burn down the system with a tyrant in the office? In office, because again, the same smoke that y'all have for Kamala, I don't see that same smoke for Donald Trump. This man controls all branches of government. Right, Joy, you are right about that. He controls all facets of the government. Kamala, a private citizen. I don't know what you want. You could say celebrity. That's fine. But as far as being in power, or being able to do anything at this point, hey, at least you bought a ticket, so that means she got paid. You putting money in her pocket, so that money that you spent, that 300, 400, whatever you spent to heckle her and do all that, you could have been donating that to an organization to help the Palestinians. Why aren't you doing that? And Stephanie, somebody sent me an article about that, about the Qatar military base that's being built. That doesn't surprise me because don't forget, Qatar was the people who gave Trump a plane, right? Those are the same people. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. sell the country away and make my pockets fatter. That's what he did in his first term. Became richer. Now this time he's gonna become even richer. Oh, he gave us his presidential salary. That little 400,000, he ain't tripping off of that. I guarantee he ain't tripping off of that. Yep. Netanyahu wasn't very popular from the start, and some Israelis want him gone. They're afraid to, yeah. You know, and the funny thing is that what doesn't really get a lot of coverage is that his own people are protesting him. They are sick of him because they're all like, yo, work out a deal so we can get the hostages. Because don't forget, each side has hostages, but you know, the people of Israel have been wanting him to make some kind of deal with them to get their family back home. And unfortunately, most of the hostages that Hamas had, they're deceased. They're gone. And I don't even know if Hamas is responsible. This I don't know for a fact, but I don't know if Hamas is responsible for all the hostages being deceased. Because when I'm seeing videos of, you know, the other side dropping bombs on hospitals, dropping bombs on apartment buildings, just dropping bombs everywhere, how do we know that some of those explosions didn't cause some of the death of their own people? And something else that I've never seen videos of the Hamas like dropping anything, any bombs or anything over on Israel. Like, I don't see, you know, usually you'll see a video of like one side, perfect example, the Ukraine and Russia. Like, you see like two active militaries going at each other, right? I don't see that over there. Like, I don't know where the Hamas is, but what I usually see is that Israel is over there dropping all the bombs and shit. Like, that's just an observation. Again, I don't know for a fact, but that's just what I see. I never see anything happening on the Israel side. I see it all happening in Gaza. You know, it'll be sold to the highest bidder. Yeah. There's not going to be base built here, according to JD Vance. They're supposedly just coming here for training. They always like to, you know, allegedly, you know how it is, Joy. They always say one thing and do another. Why trip off 400K when you can fleece the taxpayers for million? ABC shakedown got him 16 million. Yeah. And anybody who says anything about him, he just sues. But I want to go ahead and play because, you know, a lot of people are like, Kamala never called it a genocide. Well, now she's saying the word genocide. So are you happy now? No, they're not going to be happy. And this is the thing. No matter what she said, they still would not raise the bar, but they would find something else to complain about. So in her recent interview with MSNBC, she actually was asked about it, and here this is what she said.
The party have called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Do you agree with that?
I think that, listen, it's is a term of law that a court will decide, but I will tell you that when you look at the number of children that have been killed, the number of innocent civilians that have been killed, the refusal to give aid and support, we should all step back and ask this question and be honest about it. Yeah.
In the afterword of your book, you say, I'm gonna get this right, in this critical moment, working within the system by itself is not proving to be enough. I will be with the people in towns and communities where I can listen to their ideas on how we rebuild trust, empathy, and a government worthy of the ideals of this country. As someone who's covered you for a long time, your kind of estimation that the system is not working.
Okay, I just wanted to play that part for you guys. But Joy, go into what you were saying. Hi, Marmar. Go into what you were saying. So the way that Gaza and then the West Bank, because we don't even talk about the West Bank, and those people are displaced as well too. Now they're not dropping bombs and stuff, but they get beat up by police, harassed, accused. Like, it's horrible in that area too, over by Jerusalem. But the way that Israel is like everything is so highly surveillance around the borders and stuff like that. There was even a video before the attack on November 7th of them, you know, preparing and practicing with those parachutes and stuff like that to go over the border to do the attack. They had like a tutorial video or something like that before it even happened. And so with that being said, with Israel being so highly secured and them having eyes everywhere, how did a sneak attack happen like that? And YouTube, if you're listening, this is just a question. With it being so heavily surveillance, how did an attack like that happen? Because you need special paperwork and special like authorizations for like a Palestinian to even get into Israel. They just can't walk over there or go over there willing. Like, they have to get special paperwork. So you telling me that y'all just letting these Hamas parachute over with literally fans and a bed sheet? the motherfuckers had a bed sheet tied to their fans, and they flying over and they big ass fan and bed sheets over to that festival, and like nobody seen that happening. Nobody. The videos are out there. I mean, I'm not making this up. Shit. U.S. soil and an Arab country involved in war in Sudan. The Congo actively participate. And, you know, and the crazy part is, too, with talking about, you know, what's going on in Palestine. Like I said, I'm not saying that I don't give a damn or I don't care. But where do we move the goalposts? Because at the same time, there's stuff going in Congo, Sudan. Like, we'll just keep moving the goalpost. Like, it's almost like we don't even care about what's going on in Congo and Sudan. Like, if you're going to be self-righteous for every country, then, I mean, for Palestine, then we have to be that way for all the countries then, right? Not just one. And I'm not trying to say all countries matter, but, you know, it kind of fits the bill. Like, you know, if you're going to be self-righteous like that. What's up, MB? Yeah. 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 We all on the same page. We all on the same page. Impossible for them just to not know what was happening, what was going on. Yeah, nah. And let's be honest, Benjamin Netanyahu, he's been trying to take over that strip of land. He's been trying to do that. Ceasefires and stuff have been going on for years, and they've been having peace treaties, and then they end up getting broken. Like, again, I don't think people realize with how Gaza and the West Bank work. They're basically, they do, like, the West Bank have their own government, and then in Gaza they have Hamas. But still, as far as their power, electricity, stuff that can come into the West Bank in Gaza, you know, as far as like goods and supplies and stuff like that, it's all regulated by Israel. Like, they literally can't get anything in without Israel knowing. So this even more makes it seem like, okay, yeah, they knew what they were doing. They just wanted to be able to take over that strip of land. That's what they wanted. Let me, can I see a map of Israel? Dang, where's like a bigger one? Hold on. Want to show y'all real quick. Okay. Here we go. I found something. Because I just want to show y'all what it looked like. What's up, Craig? Yeah, no, I took a nap, y'all. That's why I'm still up. I took a nap, so that's why I'm all like, okay, I got energy. This okay, so this is the old map right here. This is showing you Palestine. Okay, so in 1949. Oh no, it's not going to show you. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like today, you guys. So that little strip of land, that's Gaza. And then this is the West Bank, right? But the West Bank is actually broken up into like different like sections and stuff like that, because what they call them is Israeli settlers. Settlers, and I'm putting that in quotation because basically these are Israelis who basically told these Palestinians, get the fuck out, this is our land now. And they're like gated and, you know, boarded off from the rest of the Israelis. Like, the Israelis like basically took over the land. And then the Palestinians are just there. It's a fucked up situation. What's up, Jackie? It's a fucked up situation. It truly is. But I still stand on, I don't believe in throwing away our country to save another. Because I don't think necessarily by throwing away your vote or telling people not to vote for Kamala saved Gaza, or Palestine. It didn't save it. I honestly feel like it got worse, because let's not forget also too, Biden had worked out a ceasefire deal before he left office. But of course, once Trump got in, that shit went away, because it was all like, okay, well, Biden's not the president anymore. And, you know, Trump's going to let us do whatever we want to. So fuck it now. That's why I don't think this whole ceasefire thing is going to be going to go through. I think now that Trump is not going to get that peace, that the Nobel Peace Prize, he's going to be like, oh, fuck that ceasefire. Go ahead and do what y'all got to do. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I can definitely see him being like, oh, well, shit, I didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Fuck that ceasefire. Do what you want to do, Netanyahu. We weren't stable enough to vote in that way. Yeah. Yeah. And mind you, we're still in a government shutdown, y'all. Now, here's the thing. I really think Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House, right? I really think that he keeps protecting Trump. Every time there's a government shutdown about to happen, it always involves a vote to release the Epstein files. So I think her name is Adelita in Arizona. Let me see. Arizona Congress just voted in. Adelita. Yes, Adelita. She has not been sworn in. The reason why she has not been sworn in yet is because she would be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. I'm going to end the show on this note, and this is going to be one of the most controversial things I've ever said. If they release the Epstein files and Trump is on the Epstein files, his base still wouldn't leave him. They wouldn't leave him. If anything, they would say that Trump was a secret agent spy and he had to go to the island to try to save the children. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We out of here, y'all.